Catch my crown. Welcome to the Crown Catch podcast. We're your hosts, Aneesa and Robbie, and we're so glad to have you back with us for episode 3.
I think it's 4, isn't it?
Sheesh. Episode 4 of Queendom season 2. We'll be reviewing the remaining performances that happened on this episode, as well as the rankings that came from the whole performance rundown. So, in 3 words, give me what you got.
My 3 words: mask and fantasy.
Aye.
And you?
Okay. Might be more. Let me play Rollin right now.
Oh my gosh. So should we just jump right into talking about the performance?
Let's talk about VIVIZ or VIVIZ. I don't know how to pronounce it. We'll find out when they come.
Unnatural. It was VIVIZ.
Yeah, okay. I am going to still say VIVIZ because that's what I read when I first saw them come out, and I ain't going to stop. But you know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, you can kick it off.
Yeah, because it's my song, Unnatural. Oh my goodness. Wow, I don't even know where to start. When they had what's her name? Unha, I guess, who was doing the kick thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
God bless her.
Yeah, when she started crying, honestly, her story was relatable to me. I think she was crying because she was like, oh, you know,
she didn't land it.
Yeah, she didn't land it. She was like, my dancing is just not good enough. And I'm just like, man.
She said, I am not a good dancer. I said, yeah. Girl, I feel you. I
felt so bad for her, but her not getting that move, it was just, even if they didn't have the buildup of her practicing it, like if we never saw that and I just saw her do that move, I think it's easy to tell, like, you didn't do that right. You didn't do it right.
Also, only I caught this. So IOI girl hit the, oh no, whoa, yeah, that part. Mm-hmm. And Unha tried, and I was like, it's not for you.
I was wondering, Unnatural has a lot of like really good like vocal moments. And when I re-listened to G Friends, I was just like, I feel like it's missing that.
She tried, and she tried. She
actually tried. I swear I didn't even hear an attempt.
Because you don't, I know that's your song.
Yeah.
But that's my song too. And I know every riff and run.
Okay.
And I was like, because when they break into the dance break, when Jessica lookalike was about to do the dun 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 their little salsa moment, Unha was doing that part, and I was like, "There's not enough juice there, not enough juice." And she tried.
It was lacking that juice.
She tried. She really tried. Mm-hmm. They should have done a secret.
I mean, this is the thing.
But even still,
right? They probably should have done that. But if they had done that and slayed, I still would have sat here and said, no, they should have done Unnatural because that's what I want them to do.
Yeah, but Secret only has, they only have the one high note. I'm not going to do this out my range, but the dun 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 that the kind of crescendo of the song, and I feel like the Jessica lookalike could have passed that off. But I think the Jessica lookalike would have probably done Yujung. I don't know how to pronounce her name properly, but the IOI girl, the one that ranked 11, she would have probably been able to pull off her notes slightly better. Because Unha, I think she's a great vocalist, but she, like, for what she does, but she's not like a belter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I think people are so concerned about the dance and like that part, and I'm like listening. I'm like that guy from Girls Planet. It's like,
yeah,
touching his ear. Yeah. But good for her for trying. I like seeing people try.
Yeah.
But next time.
I thought that I really like Unnatural.
That's a part of the song.
And I love their concept, like that tango concept.
It reminded me of their song Sunflower, or I think if you heard it, it's like it's also a tango theme. That G-Friend released a song in Japan, and then they made it in Korean, and it had kind of more energy than this song. I wish these things are slowing down the tempo of these remakes. I wish they kept the tango and like sped it up a little bit and made it a little
Yeah,
feel.
I think slowing down works for some people, and by some people I mean only brave girls. Only brave girls could pull off the whole slowing down thing. I think that G Friend could have been, it could
more
have been better if
spicier.
if they made it more spicy. I think.
Mm-hmm,
I actually, I
mm-hmm.
mean, I like their performance, but this is the thing.
Yeah.
I love Brave Girl's performance. I like this performance. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I feel like it ranks, it's in the lower threes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it
don't
definitely
I don't
is.
agree with the ranking at all.
Oh,
But
absolutely not. It's a whole mess.
it's
It's a
starting
whole
to become
mess.
like a popularity contest, which is annoying. But
I don't think.
oh, go ahead.
I guess we could talk about that later.
Yeah,
Talk about
I don't want to
performances
like get
now.
too much into it because then we're gonna like
Yeah.
rip it up a new one and be like, okay, now it's Kepler. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, but yeah, I mean it was cute. They did their thing. It was better than their first stage, but I think they're still finding their footing as who they are as three.
Yeah.
That's
Remember with
maybe my
Kepler's
thought.
first performance when they did the flags, and I was like, oh, they could have changed this and did this and did this instead. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
I feel like
mm-hmm.
with this performance of VVZ, usually if a performance is lacking, usually I can easily pinpoint, oh, they should have done this and this and this and
Right.
this and this. But this one, like, I don't really know what I would have changed, but it still felt like it was lacking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's something that they'll have to figure out, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. It was so
um.
pretty though. I
Oh,
like
but their
I
their
listened.
visuals are one of the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Their
They were
visuals are
smart
one of the
with going
best.
with the red
That
color, the
exactly.
bold red color.
I mean, I definitely think that Jessica looked like was very good. But she's like, you see this? You see what Hyolyn, what's her name?
HYOLYN.
Thank you. Goodness gracious. My apologies. My head was just having a like brain fart. Hyolyn. They're like, you see what she did? You taking notes? All right, girls, let's do this. So they
Yeah.
definitely, I think everyone did step up a bit, but so it wasn't a bad stage. I just feel like there needs to be some tidying up
Yeah.
for next time.
I feel like this is a version that I won't listen to.
I haven't even re-listened to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad, it's just that it has to be really good. I'd rather it's just one of those things like if I have to choose between Mask and Mask, I'm gonna choose Brave Girls Mask. If I have to choose between Unnatural and Unnatural, I'm gonna go with Cosmic Girls.
I have with the Mask, it depends on my mood.
That's true. But I'm
they're
always
two
in the
different
mood.
songs.
Kepler?
Yeah. Let me play Rollin right now. I'm sorry. I have to address this. I made a tweet saying I like this. I was being very flippant. I did not like what they did. I had to give it another rewatch. And it wasn't as bad as I remembered it, but the mashup of Rollin and Pool Party, I said this before in another tweet, but it didn't get as many likes. I don't know why. Sometimes just doing what you're asked is enough. Sometimes just when it's like if you're in a cooking class and they tell you to make, chicken Alfredo, and here you come with making bread and making a whole bundt cake and everything, you're giving all this stuff, and then you taste the chicken Alfredo and it's like bland because you've been focusing on everything else. Just focus on the task at hand. Just sing Pool Party. You don't gotta add all this other stuff. And if you want to add Rolling, go ahead.
No, I mean I agree with you. They should have just, if that was the case, just do Rollin. Don't.
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. I was about to get to it. I was like,
you don't want to do Rollin because everyone, Brave Girls is Rollin. This is gonna be the third time doing Rollin and blah blah blah. You did it anyways. Just do Rollin and call it. Because it's
it seemed like they're like, how can we do this without doing it?
Exactly.
But it's like I would have just did Pool Party and it's called it a day. Or if they wanted to do like a rolling moment, let that be the bridge.
That's what I was thinking too. If it had like its one moment.
Yes, because you know who did that, bro? HYOLYN. She did it great. She had the two songs
with Paint the Town,
and that was its own separate moment. Mm-hmm. And then she went right back into so what? Mm-hmm. But with this, it was like, sorry, Bahye. I just keep saying, let me play Rollin right now. I love it. I mean, it's bad, but I love that her one part and then her standing there for like 19 seconds.
I feel like this is the thing. I don't really know how else to say it. Just pick one. Either do Pool Party or do Rollin'. But I felt like if they're going to do Rollin', don't just do okay, Rollin'. No, get on the chair and just commit to it. You know,
but
I mean?
They're not on the chair because they're at the pool party. You see what I mean? So that's why they were doing too many things
I
at
guess
once.
you're right. Yeah,
They have to be on the what would they be in the inflatable little floaties?
Yeah.
Pool party. Everybody. I keep cutting this song up. I don't like it.
I thought that Yesel was cute though. I like her. It reminded me of in Girls Planet when the group did Fate.
Oh, okay.
She was giving like her
that
acting
moment
is like great for this.
Well,
type
she's
of
a
thing
child
on
actress.
Stage. Yeah, her acting is great for like this type of stage, but I wouldn't like to see that in a drama. But for a stage, this is great.
You know, she was giving me like very hammy tech, like Target spring sale, like
yeah, that makes it cute
like
though.
Like it's like very like Macy's Easter celebration,
yeah,
clearance sale. Like, come get your white Mary Jane today. Like it's very that. But good for her. You know, there's a market for that.
Yeah, that's cute though.
When she's a grown woman, I don't know what she's gonna be doing. I guess she'll
you're right.
Yeah, but for now, she's gonna, you know, she'll be eating. She'll be doing the Minju stuff after Kepler.
Speaking of eating, I don't know if you noticed, but I just thought it was funny how immediately after VVZ, when Unha messed up her kick, Xiao Ting did the same exact kick and it was flawless.
I was about to say that, you know, it was very smart of her being the center for that moment for the bar dance.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of her where she shines. She's not the main dancer, but her long limbs compared to the rest of the girls, she's just a visually striking like performer. And she knew how to sell that moment very well.
Yeah.
And I'll give that to them. But god dang it, I wish they just made rolling the middle section.
Oh yeah, that
just make it the middle section. They'd be like, after like they do that part, they're like we're gonna give you Rollin' right. No, that it has to be Bahia saying it in any universe. Let me play Rollin' right. I can't. I'm sick. I'm obsessed with her dry nonsense. But they could have made that the bridge, the middle eighth, and then went back.
That would have been cute too.
It would have been cute.
Let me play Rollin' right now as the bridge.
Yeah, and then that kicks off into it. Yeah, but when they got to the end and just sung Pool Party by itself, that was nice.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yep.
And then Young Buster butt. But I give her props. She said, "Oh shoot!" But she's like, "I'm going to hit my little ending part." That's a great.
Yeah,
great,
she had a little Mama Moo moment, but
you know what? She wasn't. It wasn't as bad as Mama Moo because she didn't say like she didn't like, die. She didn't like die. She like was very silent. Like she was very professional about it. Yeah. Like I would have only noticed when watching it back. And it wasn't as bad as like Yuri messing up Chocolate Love simultaneously in the music video for Chocolate Love and for Girls' Generation. Go watch it. She busts her butt every time, and she's multiple times, and it's like I feel like they gave her 3 chances, and they said, "This is what it's going to be. You're not getting this part."
The only one I remember is when they filmed that computer one. Intel.
Oh, dun dun dun.
Yes. Every single one of them messes up some part of the choreography.
Well, they learned that choreography so fast. Yeah. So it was like I'm like, you know, it's not a big deal. But that Chocolate Love, it was just Yuri, and it was like. It was a Mama Moo moment. And she's and I'm like, I think the director's like, we have a time limit.
Yeah,
just cut it. It's done. Great job, ladies. Go enjoy food in the back.
Gosh,
let me play Rollin' right now.
They were cute. I would have changed up the dance break a little bit. I would have switched Dahyun and Chaehyun and just have like the center people be really the stronger dancers.
Why didn't they just do high heels and just kept it rolling?
I don't want to see them do high heels.
I maybe just because I like hockey.
Yeah. I think Pool Party was a good choice for them.
Yeah, it was a smart choice if they just. You see, there is a work method called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I say it to myself all the time. Let me just kiss this one out and just not make something more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
They needed to kiss. They needed to keep it simple.
I feel like everyone could use that advice, and I'll explain why when we.
Well, that's like I got that from my mother. She was just like, when I was young, she's like, oh, there's a thought process called kiss. I said, what it means? Keep it simple, stupid. Just don't overdo something. Like, just make it what it needs to be. Sometimes it doesn't have to be more than what it needs to be. If you just follow the instructions and give them a standard thing, sometimes that shines brighter than what you're initially thinking.
Yep.
You can also keep it simple, sunshine, if you want to be nice, but
no.
Fair enough.
I feel bad. Eugen, her little when she said she couldn't do the choreography good because she was slipping around.
The floor is slippery. I wouldn't have noticed it that much, but
yeah,
she got good. Oh, go ahead, sir.
You don't really notice it at the part right after that bubble part. But I will say, if you're watching the full stage you can see everyone, you can tell that she's half-assing a lot of them. I mean, half-ass is a bad word to use.
Well, she slipped and then she went right back into choreography. So I was like, okay, it happens to the best of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal to me. I mean, it wasn't as bad. Like at least she didn't fall into the audience. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves too for those mistakes.
I mean, I saw someone saying sorry. And cancel. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but thoughts that you could be canceled for about Queendom. And I do agree. I kind of wish, you can hate me if you want to, but I wish Kepler wasn't a part of this season because they're just so fresh. They don't know who they are yet.
I think in the beginning, to me at least, they were strong. I like their whole "we are Kepler" moment. I thought it was cute. But then I feel like that was their peak. That was their peak.
Just like how, I'm going to say Girls Planet, just like how Huang Qingqiu's peak was Fiesta.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway. I'm so bad.
HYOLYN.
Yeah. I started off Kepler, so you can do HYOLYN.
Yeah, I think. Well, first of all, we all know HYOLYN'S performance is great. It was great. I have nothing.
This is her world.
Yeah, HYOLYN'S Queendom. That's gonna be the name of this episode. HYOLYN'S
Because it's honestly just 4. It reminds me of. I have to always say other reality shows because I watch too many of them. It reminds me of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars season 3, where there's a contestant named Binda LaCreme. Before she eliminated herself, she took herself out the competition. But it was basically. Watch this week's episode where you see Binda LaCreme win everything. It's she was just cleaning house, and it's this one basically feels the same way. This watch HYOLYN win everything while everyone tries to get second place.
Yep.
Because Luna was a little bit too happy. They're like, wow, we're second. In their mind, this is the best we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that one bit.
I think that with COVID the last 2 years, one of the reasons why HYOLYN is winning is because these groups got used to promoting COVID style, which is camera and fancy camera angles. And I feel like one good thing about HYOLYN, what's the best way to explain it? So HYOLYN, she actually has the advantage because as a soloist, no matter how big and extravagant the stage is, no matter what space she uses, the audience will always follow her. If she moves left, the audience is always watching her. If she moves right, the audience is always
instead of it being 12 or 8 girls,
yeah,
there,
exactly.
And then you're
so compared to the other groups, what's happening is I'm even looking at the audience too when I was watching the full cam. First they're looking straight and then they stop doing things here and now they're looking over here, but the audience doesn't know what's going on. They're like, okay, which way to look? They miss half the show by the time they realize, oh, now we're over here. Oh, now we're over here. You know what I mean? I feel like in that case, HYOLYN has a huge advantage being a soloist because all you have to do is follow HYOLYN and you'll see all 3 minutes of her stage or all 5 minutes of the stage. Every other group, you're not really watching all 3 minutes. You're watching
because your attention split.
Exactly. It's split
I
everywhere.
was
It's too much going on.
I was thinking it's also in her favor where she's older and she comes from a second generation of K-pop,
Mhm.
because second generation, and you guys can throw a shoe at me if you want to, but they idolize Western artists
Mhm.
in that time period. And I'm not saying Western artists are better than Eastern artists. Just hear me out. Western artists were doing things next level at that point in time. Now it's a little bit more evened out because the world's more, universal, and uh, with internet, everything's just so spread out. Like everyone's giving inspiration to any part of the world. But at that point in time, like British pop and American pop, and it was just like cutting edge. And I know for sure Hyolyn definitely looked up to Beyonce and all those idols at the time, and you can just tell. And I think the K-pop artists of this age are looking up to K-pop artists of the previous generation. So it's an imitation of an imitation, you know what I mean? But she got like her like inspiration was like from the raw source. So and then she was able to embody that when she made her own label, and she's in charge of her own thing. And she's like, that experience is like, it is, you can tell, unfolds how that's giving her the advantage. It's kind of a juxtaposition to Bomb, who you know I'm so glad that they gave another older solo artist a shot for their Queendom, because it shows. Not saying Bomb did bad, but we know Bomb was a vocalist, and that's kind of where she was. But Hyolyn is a multi-packaged, full threat, rap, sing, dance, production, stage management. I mean, she is able to create the world she wants to create, and she's next level. Like, she was like, remember how I did all color? This time, all black and white, and like just switching it up and keeping the other contestants on their toes. So there's not like she's giving the same thing each time. It's like the hula hoop, or the circle, but like whatever that instrument that she used to swing around. So smart, so creative. I wouldn't even thought of that to like symbolize the circle for the Luna like logo. I mean, I can go on and on about how good her performance was. And someone else was saying, one of our friends was saying, oh, she wasn't dancing so much because, or not, I don't think one of our friends, one of the influencers on Instagram was saying, oh, she wasn't dancing so much because, she was singing. But that's true. And each time she gets on stage, she kind of reminds me of a VMA performance. Like, they work the stage. And I think you can have your backup dancers tell the story without you having to do it all the time. It's the
I mean,
point of
that's
it.
fine. That's what
Yeah,
AOA did too. Their most iconic stage. That's one of the reasons why they won.
Exactly, because it's like the whole point isn't you to be. This is not America's Best Dance Crew. This is who makes the best stage performance, however that may be. And this goes back to Brave Girls. Like, I don't care that they didn't dance much, because I think their stage was amazing. I think yes, I think yes, sure, them having how you say it, like them having the stage be more so centered around camera angles was the downside of it, because I think when you watch it live, it wasn't as engaging. But I don't think they deserve last. But in regards to Hyolyn using her backup dancers to create the story while she maybe works the stage, I thought that was also very smart.
I mean, it brings me back to Kepler's stage too. When they did Warada, one of the things that they were lacking, or people were saying, oh, their dancing was really great, especially during the dance break moments, but it kind of doesn't matter. The dancing was great because when it comes to the stage as a whole, they were lacking. You know what I mean? Compared to like Hyolyn, who in this stage, she might not be dancing. I mean, you could tell with her heels, she couldn't hit a lot of the moves properly, but it
She's
doesn't
in that
matter.
tight outfit. And I'm like, whew.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because the story, the vibe that she was trying to tell,
She pulled it off.
Is exactly. She still pulled it off.
Yeah.
It's not always about hitting all the moves perfectly, which is what that was Kepler's downfall. They were way too obsessed with themselves doing all these cool dances.
But they're fresh from Girls Planet. They're in that headspace. They're just, it's just where they're at. But I hope I didn't drag on too much about her performance and how great she was. But I just wanted to like verbally acknowledge, like,
no, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. You want to talk about the rankings?
Yeah, so the official rankings right now, well, I guess just for that stage actually. So first place is Hyolyn, second place was Luna, third place VVZ, fourth place is WJSN, fifth place Kepler, sixth place is Brave Girls.
Do you agree?
Me?
Yeah.
I agree.
I said, do you? We've had this conversation, but our audience doesn't know what our position. So I'm
no.
like as a host making some like back trying to set the stage.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do you want to hear my rankings actually? Because I wrote it down.
This is what this whole section's about.
Perfect. First place. Okay, so I will say top two is Brave Girls and Hyolyn. At the end of the day, it comes down to personal preference. I gave Brave Girls number one, Hyolyn two, Luna for three, fourth Kepler, five VVZ, and six WJSN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Our placements are a little similar. I kind of think, can Luna and like Brave Girl split second?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then Hyolyn's first, and then VVZ's like, after that, and then WJSN after that, and then Kepler's like last.
Oh, really? You think Kepler last?
Let me play Rollin right now.
And that was the best part, and everything else didn't matter.
It was just I did not like the mashup. It sounded like they were singing the Rollin part off key. It just didn't fit. It's just like do one thing well. Like do the assignment. Don't keep doing all this extra stuff. It's just unnecessary. Or if you're doing extra stuff, be thoughtful about it. Like at my work, like the boss's boss says, when you do something, do it with intention. Like what are you trying to like get the audience to understand, and like what's the thought you're trying to convey? And it seemed like the Rollin part didn't even mash with the story that they were trying to tell in the song. And I think they get so caught up in like, wow, and this do this and this is grand. But when you're thinking about it on like a storytelling level, we're rolling at the pool party, but what are we doing? And then like they weren't even doing anything on stage to kind of convey what that adds to the story of pool party, which is just like having fun. And maybe making it too large, but I'm just trying to break it down in the sense that you have to do things with intention.
I mean, even if you think that you're thinking of it too large, for me, I was kind of simplifying it. I was like, okay, they don't have a story, just putting on a show. But even from that perspective, I didn't like it. I felt even if they were just putting on a show,
it just didn't add anything.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah. It didn't add anything. I genuinely feel like they should have either just stuck with pool party or just stuck with Rollin.
They should have just done Rollin because they wanted to do it.
They wanted to do it. Exactly. Just do it. But they didn't want to be like, oh, of course they're going to choose Rollin. Just do Rollin. Just do it. Just do it. Especially if the audience is like a different audience. Just do Rollin and call it a night.
Just do Rollin.
Goodness gracious. But honestly,
that's why they're last for me. Because it's just like you did like it, like WJSN. I did not like how the tone of the song didn't match. I felt like the song should have been warmer. Like it should have been on a brighter key. It just was like, why? I always feel like, oh, we need to make it so more bombastic. Let's go dark. I'm over it. Like I'm sincerely over it, respectfully. But at least like it didn't sound terrible.
That's true.
This is just a personal preference.
Sorry, you're right. Actually, the sound of a Cosmic Girls cover was more pleasant. Yeah. But I feel like for me, Kepler is higher only because the stage was more pleasant. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I like WJSN's stage better. But I think this goes based on personal preference.
Yeah.
But honorable mention to Bahie's Let Me Play Rollin right now.
Again? Wow.
But they would be
definitely
last.
Without a doubt, Brave Girls, Hyolyn, Luna, top three.
Yeah. It hurts my heart that like Brave Girls like were feeling like kind of defeated due to their ranking. I don't think it's so. And I didn't agree with HYOLYN saying, "Oh, I didn't see Brave Girl's colors." Like I did. Like
yeah, me too.
I thought
this
a
is
lot
the
of
funny thing too. If an audience member said that, that's understandable because the camera was covering them half the time. But
right,
they got the same view that we did from the back of
right,
their room. So what are you talking
exactly.
about?
I personally feel like the peer like review. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. The peer review like was BS in the sense of like I feel it was like, oh, we're not going to use it better than us, and we're going to have to choose someone. And Brave Girls is lower hanging fruit, so let's just choose them as the weakest contender. But if it was first week, okay, maybe. But this week, I definitely think they stepped it up immensely and gave a great show. And I don't agree that they are last.
I think that they just, you're right. Brave Girls is just the easy one to pick just because last week maybe they were lacking, but this week, no. And then they can't. This is the reality. They know it's a competition and it's really annoying, but that's why they're not picking anyone above them, which I feel like Mnet should have let that as a requirement. You have to pick someone above you because now it's too competitive in an annoying way. You know what I mean?
Right.
But no one, even though they accept it's a competition, no one's going to pick HYOLYN below you. Right. Because then they can be like, oh, it wasn't you're valid. Just nasty for that. It's just, exactly like you said, it's not valid. Even if they really want to make her lose the points, they're not going to pick her. They're just going to pick anyone who's easy. Last week, it was G-Friend who was the easy target. But now everyone's like, well, we can't choose G-Friend again. Now everyone's going to pick on Brave Girls this time. Next week, it probably will be Luna.
It didn't make sense, but
exactly.
I don't agree. It kind of hurt me to see them feel like their efforts weren't like seen because it was a great stage. Sure, maybe they could have like put more thought into how it would look live to the audience, but not like there's always a note to take in everything creative. So there's really nothing to feel shameful about. It was a great show. It was a great show. But that's kind of that's all I have to say. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like I think that the voting would be more, I think the voting scale would be more real to how we actually feel about it too, if the audience could vote for at least 3 people. Yeah. Because I feel like what's happening is pretty much everyone's voting for their own fandom.
Yeah.
And then HYOLYN.
I think it doesn't need to be a top 3, bottom 3 thing.
Yeah, top 3, bottom 3 for sure. It would probably make the voting. So I feel like if it was top 3, bottom 3, I think that maybe HYOLYN I feel like still would have been first. Yeah. But I think that with that, Kep1er would have been last.
Yeah. No, and that
I do think that Cosmic Girl still would have been high up.
Yeah, I mean, I like them. I'm not gonna be biased, even though I like you. I'm gonna like say when I don't like your performance, like when Girls' Generation did Hoot, I just missed that whole moment. I was like, this is not a great song. I'll catch you guys next time. Ooh, Girls' Day, Nothing Lasts Forever. I'm gonna listen to that right now. You guys do your Hoot thing. I will jump ship if I don't like what you're doing, and I can still like you. But that's not common in K-pop nowadays. But I think, is there anything else you have to say? Any remaining?
I think that's all. I mean, in the next episode, they're doing the whole vocal and dance unit thing. There's a rumor saying that the people who chose vocal are actually going to do dance, and the people who chose dance
that's sick. That's sick.
I don't know if that's true though, because I feel like I don't think that Mnet would do something like that. You're pretty much asking for a bad show, and I feel like the companies would.
What if Bomb was there? What if Bomb was there? All right.
Oh, that would be great. We can see
now
her
5 and 6 and 7 and 8,
and she's on 6 and 7 and 8 and 9.
And she's like, I killed it. Oh, but she's like, I ain't got to worry about that. I'm at Coachella.
Mnet needs to keep the rule where they have to vote for someone better than them, because
it balances it out.
Yeah, it balances it a lot. And then even if someone like
but even VIVIZ, that's strategic because they're only going to vote for HYOLYN.
Well, even it doesn't matter, because at least you're putting some sort of good energy out there to counter the bad, even if everyone votes for HYOLYN, which actually I don't think they would think they should even have the peer review at all, honestly. Like, who cares? Like, you're my competition. It's just for drama. That's why I see why they have it.
I see why they have it. I think, like, realistically, just remove it and just have a global vote, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe, like, have, like, have, I mean, they don't have a judge. They have like a host. I wish they had like some type of a, like judging panel that can like be like a Planet Pass type thing.
Oh, what do you mean?
like
like an unbiased
it's the
judging or something?
right, like it's like the live viewing, and then it's the global view vote, and then it's the panel of judges.
Oh, didn't they do
that
something like that in season 1? Because I
I
think
don't remember.
they had like live votes, but then they also had like special votes. Because remember, that's
Yeah.
how Lovely's got their win. They
I,
had like the
I
aunties and grandmas come.
yeah, I think there needs to be like a third layer that's
Yeah,
like that is judging purely based on the full scope and is non-biased. And I think that needs to replace the peer voting. I'm not thinking about it.
I think the peer voting is fine for the sake of television.
I mean,
But
they can
it's
share
just
their
that,
opinions. I just don't think it should count.
well, no, I think that it's fine if it counts because realistically, it's not worth a lot of points. It's only out of the 10,000 points, it's only 1,000, which is 10%. It's not even worth a lot, so that's why I can see it's literally just there for the drama. But if that's the case, yes, just to be messy. If that's the case, they need to keep in the other end, which is the positive part of it. They just keep both in, because the other good thing with Queendom was like the cute little friendly interactions. Now I feel like when they meet in this house, yeah, they're gonna be smiling, but they're still gonna have that
beefing.
Yeah, that like beef, you know what I mean? There was no friendly interaction whatsoever, pretty much, except for maybe Luna and HYOLYN.
Hey girl. But yeah.
Gosh.
Any more remaining marks?
No, I don't think so. This is HYOLYN'S Queendom, and we're just living in it.
living in it. Yeah, me either. But it was a fun episode. I can't wait to see what they do next time. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for tuning in to episode 4 of our review for Queendom season 2. Let us know what your rankings are in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the whole performances. And just anything you want to tell us, we're down to read them and comment right back and have a conversation. But until next time, thank you so much. This has been Aneesa and Robbie, and we hope to see you again. Bye.